Niger-Area before Nigeria. The lines that demarcate the country Nigeria didn't result from societal development. Instead, it was negotiated on a drafting table somewhere on the other side of the Atlantic. Before Nigeria, historical studies report that societies in the Niger area developed sophisticated political, economic, cultural relationship with their neighbors. This achievement was without any major intervention. More so, archaeological evidence and historical studies show that the area not only boasted of skilled labor like metal craftsmen, wood carvers, cloth makers, artists, but also a mix of centralized and decentralized societies. Um, this wasn't a chaotic, topsy-turvy society against prevailing notion. It was actually well organized and harmonious. So I went to ask Beef, who coincidentally has been studying the history of the Oyo Empire, what it looked like.
Yeah, so I just talked about the Oyo Empire. Yeah. So the Oyo Empire was actually initiated by Orania sometimes around the 13th to the 14th century. It was the first king of the old Oyo Empire. We have Ajaka and the famous Shango. But the old Oyo Empire did not really become an empire until about the 16th to the 17th century, when they covered vast amount of areas, regions in Togo today, the regions in the Republic of Benin, then it's called the Dahomey, I think. So it's a vast, very vast empire. So for the political structure of the old Oyo Empire, we start from the big gun, we start from the Alafia for you. So the system of government is said to be a monarchy system of government, but it's not an absolute monarchy system of government, because there are a lot of check and balances in the system of government. We have the Alafia for you, it's the big gun, it's the number one official. And after that, we have the Oyomesis. The Oyomesis is a 7-member council. We have the Alakmini, we have the Samu, we have the Agbaki, and so on and so forth. But the highest ranked member of the Oyomesi is actually the Basharon. And the function really of the Oyomesi is, number one, they are the kingmakers, and also in addition to that, they serves as some sort of the legislative arm of the government. So they keep the Alafia for you in check, and I'm going to go into details about that later on. So after the Oyomesis, you have the Alafia for you. You have the Oyomesis, which keeps the Alafia for you in check, and it's not uncommon that the Oyomesis and the Alafia for you comes to some sort of an agreement and decide to trample on the masses. So we will have another layer after that, which is the Ogboni people. And the Ogboni people tend to represent the kind of the popular opinion, and they have the backing of the religious authority. We also have so Ogboni is another arm of the political system. We also have the Ashores. So the Ashores are the military chiefs, and the goal of the military chiefs, in essence, is just to make sure that the kingdom is being secured, and the head of this Ashores, as they are called, which is the military chief, is the Arion of Kakanfo. Yeah. So Arion of Kakanfo, we have some famous one in history. We have Afonja of Ilorin. We have Kurumi. In fact, MK Abiola was, I think, is the last Arion of Kakanfo, but during his time, Arion of Kakanfo has become some sort of an has become some sort of a nominal honorary post. So they weren't fighting wars at that time. Okay, so that's the nobility. Again, to recap, Alafia for your Oyomesis, the 7-member councils, the Ogboni, we have the Ashores. But like I said, the Oyo Empire actually covers a vast amount of land. So we now have towns, we have towns, we have villages that are being headed by their own king. So what we have here is some sort of a semi-independent kind of system. So they have their own king, and if it's a smaller town or if it's a village, they have what we call the Baale. So we have the king, and they form their own community themselves, make decisions on their own. So I think the hierarchy would be the king, the Baale, and we also have the Olori, which I would imagine would be the head of an extended family, in that sense. So so I think so. That's kind of an abstract of what the political system looks like. And like I said before, the system is said to be a monarchy system, but it does tend to have some democratic undertones, especially when you want to select the Oba. The Oba is not solely hereditary. You know, when the king dies, a set of people will nominate candidates, and the Oyomesi select who's going to be the next Alaafin of Oyo. And I think there are two major points. I think two major things I'd like to just note about the structure of the empire and what probably was responsible for the strength of the empire. The idea of skin in the game revolves around when you have something to lose in a particular situation. That's the best way to explain it. So let's start from the big gun. Let's start from the Alaafin of Oyo. For the Alaafin of Oyo is known as the second in command to the god, is seen as a representative to the god on earth. But that's what it sees to the masses. But in actuality, what happens is the Oyomesis, they have the powers to dethrone the Alaafin of Oyo. So in the eventuality that the king becomes so brutal and so tyrannical, so autocratic, the Oyomesis, in that eventuality, that's how you say it in Yoruba. So they open a basket for him, a mysterious basket for him, or they give him a parrot egg, and the meaning of that is, today we have retired pope, we have retired presidents. We don't have retired Alaafin of Oyo. You either have a living Alaafin of Oyo or a dead Alaafin of Oyo. So if you know that, if you become so tyrannical, if you become so nasty, what will happen in the eventuality is your deaths. And this is not uncommon. We have a lot of Alaafin of Oyo, and of course we have similar system in Ife too, only that met their deaths in that phase. So this check and balances, in my own opinion, I think was really responsible for the strength of the empire for about 2 centuries, I think. And another thing is, I think where the idea of skilling the game also comes in is in the idea of the chiefs. It's not uncommon for chiefs and when I say chiefs, I mean people that wield huge political influence in the community to go to war. And if a person have so much political interest and so much political power, and you have to go to war, then you better think well about why you want to go to war, because you definitely have to partake in whatever comes from the war. So it's more or less like a pilot, right? A pilot flying a plane. So you have a skin in the game. You have to think about what you're doing, and I think that's some of the things that's just so vastly missing in some of the modern political system that we have. You just see a person sitting in an office telling people to go to war without not even knowing the ramification of what's going on there. So the skin in the game, and the other point I would actually like to raise is the idea of what people might call small is beautiful. So even though you have the Alaafin for your, people say it's monarchy, but in the actuality what you have is you have you have a collection of semi-independent states where you have each town have its own Oba, its own king, and the king with some other local chiefs administer what's going on at each level. And what this simply means is they have their own source of how do I put it, kind of means of production, how they run the economy and things like that. And what that means in practicality is the fact that anytime there's a disaster, it's just been localized. So you have this collection of semi-independent states, and there might be this disaster somewhere in Dahomey or somewhere in Owo or somewhere in Ijebu. But at the end, what you have is a cohesive community because of that semi-independent nature, and that's really important. And another thing that I think it's also very, very important in having this semi-independent system has to do with biology. And has to do with the fact that it has to do with the way it has to do with our psychology, the way we respond to what happens. So, for example, if I switch on my television now, people say, "Oh, there is 200,000 people died in Sierra Leone, mudslide or something like that, something tragic." That's vastly different from actually being in Sierra Leone and seeing people dying in mudslide. There's no way you can compare the two experiences, two totally different experiences. But what has happened in reality is still the fact that people died. So when you have somebody, maybe they're laughing for you in this case, so distant from the people is ruling, then the chances of terrible governance just increases. But when you have a semi-independent system of government where the leaders can actually see the people, you interact with the people, you see what's going on in the community, that seems to me as a kind of a common sense and the way we have actually lived in so many Asians environments. I think that's probably long enough.